welcome to the video brought to you by turbocamaro.ca. Today we're going to be doing a video on the LED lights of the Equus Pro Tac 6088. It's this 3 3/8 inch tack that I mounted in an earlier video. You can see here that it has a red stripe in it, but for the most part it's just a white LED, and I'm not a big fan of that. As you can see, I've switched my dash lights over to red. It's kind of dim in there, it's hard to see in this light, but they're red. And then of course the gauges are also red down there. So I'm left with just this one really bright tack light right in my face. So what I did for the dash, just for the curiosity's sake, is I used this there are 5 LED from those SMB eBay kits. There are 20 lights in here. It was $6, and they were pretty good. As you can see down there, those light up pretty nice. The dash in the dark looks pretty good. It's a little bit dim because it's trying to shine through a different colored tinted gauge thing there, so it's just not going to work right. But this is our concern, and of course that purple will have to be changed too. So this thing here, you have to pull it apart in order to get access to the lights. Now this one, it's not one of the ones that are like the newer style that have the plugs on the back where you can just pull the LEDs out. If that was the case, I would make a video on it. What we have to do is remove the tack and sort of dismantle a little bit. So once you get it free from the mount, you can undo the 2 Phillips screws on the back. That just allows the internals to be loose from the actual housing, as you can see here. You could do it later, but now it's just easier since it's hanging there anyway. And then you're left with the tough part, which is to remove the bezel around the front. There's this sort of circular collar that goes screws or twists onto the front, and you can't just twist it off. It's actually got tabs all the way around, the little plastic tabs that you can't physically release them all at the same time. And in addition to that, they've glued it. They use like some kind of crazy glue or something in the crease all the way around. What I did is I took it with my hand and I squeezed it all the way around as if you were, I don't know, just trying to crack the glue. So you just flex the plastic and you hear little cracks and creaks, and it's scary because you think maybe you're going to break something. You don't have to go crazy, like it's not a strength competition. It's just a matter of trying to flex the plastic just a little bit. So if you can feel just a slightest amount of plastic, then you're good. Kind of like if you were, I don't know, squeezing a tennis ball or something, just a little bit. It's going to have the same kind of feel to it. Once you go all the way around and you think that you don't hear any more creaking or cracking, then you probably at least broken the seal. Now what you need to do is take yourself a flathead screwdriver and stick it in the little slots. There's, I think, 6 of them all the way around. And you just put them in and just give it a little twist. And what will happen is you'll actually be freeing the glue up a bit more and just flexing the plastic as you go around. Now, be extremely careful with this, because you can see here, maybe in certain light, there's actually, probably right there, right in front of my thumb here, there's like actually some very fine hairline cracks in the plastic on some of my tabs. Not all of them, but some of them. And that's just gonna happen because you are flexing it there, and it's just the way it is. So just be careful of that. Now, also, I won't want to take any kind of responsibility for this. It's more than possible when you do this, yours will just crack it all the way down the front, and then you're hooped. And unfortunately, I wouldn't want that to happen to somebody, but at the same time, it is a risk you're going to take with this project, I think. And unfortunately, if you don't like it, then I guess you and I both should have bought a gauge that we could have just interchanged the bulbs from right out, from the factory. So either way, you go around, do that to all the tabs just gently. And then what I did is I actually used my thumbnail, which is gross, but I happen to have just long enough of a thumbnail. I was able to take it into one of the slots and slide it between the crease all the way around from slot to slot. You could probably use a very fine flathead screwdriver. I don't have one in here, but something like that, or maybe even the end of like a zap strap, just something very fine and thin. I actually do have a very fine one, so something like that, extremely thin, something that repairs like sunglasses or eyeglasses or something, and go around and just crease the end. And after that, it was fairly easy. I was able to actually just take both my hands and just sort of pry just on a couple spots at a time the edge away, and then it just sort of pops off. All right, so as you can see here, it's just basically a ring with a piece of actual glass on it. So you just got to be very careful that you don't break the glass by pressing too hard. It's a lot going on there, and keep in mind, I just did this for the second time, and I actually found it to be more difficult to remove this bezel the first time around. So as you can see now, looking at the gauge, you got just this little sort of rim around the collar, and you can see the internals. Now the lights are the 3 little squares with the yellow dots on them. They're like an LED style light, and they're right there at the end of my thumb, and there's 3 white ones. What I'll actually do maybe is just turn the lights on for you. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. So there you go. There's 3 lights there. There's none on the bottom. And that's it. That's what controls the brightness of the gauge. And they're very bright. They're a good quality light that's in there, which is fine, but unfortunately it's not great because they're white and they are soldered right to the board. So you have a couple of options. You can replace the white lights with different colored lights, or you can put some sort of a shroud over them that makes them a different color, or you could actually change the face of this so that it was red. I honestly think that the best way is either to solder on new lights, which wouldn't be impossible, or to just shroud them. And that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to take kind of the easiest way out. I've got these things from these VDO gauges here. They call them a cover. To me, it's like a little red condom. But either way, I'm going to take these things and I'm essentially going to glue gun them around so that these are kind of like doming over top of the lights. They won't actually be touching the LED, so there's no risk of getting them too hot or melting or whatever. But at the same time, they should provide a bit of a diffusion for red. And these are very similar to color to what the new bulbs are, so it should look pretty good. It should. So I'm going to go ahead and glue gun these now around. I'm probably just going to do a little sort of a ring of glue around the LED on the top of the board there, and then I'm just going to sort of gently press those on. They'll stick up quite a bit, but there's nothing around the gauge here on the inside that's going to be impacted by having those sticking up. And then hopefully I'll be able to see where I've gone ahead and put some glue on there. I tried to put it on and it kind of didn't go on right, so I pulled it off, and wouldn't you know it, the top of the LED came off with it, and now it's shot. So I've got one dead LED. What I should have done is just soldered on new lights. It was lazy of me. Well, actually what it was is I wanted to make it so that I could change it back or go a different color easily in the future if I change my mind about the red. But now that we're here, I can't do with just 2 out of 3, especially since it's a side light and it's going to be obvious that it's not working if it's not on. So we're going to be removing the rest of the housing of this light, of this LED, and I'm going to be soldering in 2 of my red bulbs, probably just one on either side of the gauge. We'll see if it's not full enough, then maybe I'll... So I've got it all done here. I'll show you how I did it. So you can see here, I've got these bulbs. I ordered a pack of blue and red off eBay. These are the ones I've used for the gauge now. So these are quite simple. There's 5 LEDs on a very standard, I think it's a 195 socket. Anyway, and you can just basically straighten out the wires, just so that these wires here are sticking straight up, just like that and like that. And then the red socket, as you can see, just comes right off. And then you're left with just basically the bulb with the 2 wires. Now, all you need to do for this, how I recommend it, you can do it however you think it's best, but the easiest way I found was just to bend the wires so that they are into like little loops like that. And you don't want them touching at the base, so you just got to kind of position them in such a way that they like work. And then what you do is it's kind of like a positive and negative. Only one of these will actually activate the light. So you got to do is you've got to get the old LED off the board, off the circuit board for the gauge. I just used a flathead screwdriver like this, and just like jabbed at it until I busted it all off, and it was left with 2 prongs. There'd be 2 metal prongs sticking up, and you just got to touch this to the board when it's on, just to figure out which one is going to actually turn the light on. And then once you figure that out, you basically take the metal prong that's sticking up and you stick it through the hoop that you've made, and then just sort of fold it over. I wouldn't do it a lot of times because the prong might break off on the board and then you're left with nothing to really work with, but just fold it over inside the hoop there just to hold it for now. You can use your finger just to fold it down. It's small, but you can do it. And then if you can, just take a drop of solder and put it on there, and it will help secure it. And then in addition to that, you could use like a glue gun like this little girly one I have here, and it will help hold it all together, and these won't be wiggling around as much. That being said, you could probably just use a glue gun if you don't have access to a soldering iron, but you just make sure you get it nice and tight when you fold it over, and that your glue is really in there and is thoroughly done, or else you'll end up having all kinds of shaky bulbs, and it'll be like flickering on you while you're driving, and that'll be very frustrating. So either way, you take these and you go ahead and use something like this. Now, you don't know how well you can see this here, but what I've got is three bulbs now, big ones, sticking off the main board in place of those original three LEDs. Now, these are 5 LED ones, like I mentioned earlier. They work pretty well, but they're not as bright as the ones that were there by default. Think about it as these might be brighter overall, but since there's 5 LEDs, it's kind of like, you know, each one is maybe like a third as bright as the other. So I'll turn it on for you so you can see here kind of what it looks like, keeping in mind that I've got my light on the camera here, so you can't really see the light very well in this light. But I'll show it to you with it assembled. You'll get a better look. So you can see a bit of a red glare there. It is working, but they're just overpowered by my camera light. So they are on. That's the general idea. You kind of get them pointed the way you want to point them. Again, there's 5 of them, so 5 LEDs per. So you got to kind of point the bulb the direction you think it's going to provide the best illumination on the gauge. So either way, we'll go and reassemble the gauge. Don't forget the little red RPM limit, whatever little needle thing. You can throw it away if you want to, but don't forget it if you want it. And put it all back together, and just make sure you're happy with it. So the gauge is reinstalled. Just be very careful you don't bump it too hard when you go put it back together. You would hate to cause any issues, but as long as you did a good mounting job, it should be just fine. So it was white before, as you saw. We're going to turn the lights on, and now it's red. It's very similar in color to my other gauges. Those ones down there on camera look kind of orangey in this light, but so do these. But for the most part, it's a pretty even spread, luckily, and it very much matches the speedometer and whatnot. And yeah, very happy with that. That's exactly what I wanted. I got red all around. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about this, how I did it, or any other suggestions or anything, feel free to let me know. You can subscribe to me here on YouTube, or check out Facebook and Twitter for lots of updates. Thanks for watching.